Hello and welcome to the channel. Now this is going to be my third year running that I've entered the USACC group build. It was one of the main reasons that really wanted me to join the YouTube community and start up a channel and what have you. I think at the time I started the channel, the USACC group build was due to close. It was Mark Batson's choice, the 70 Roadrunner. Or the GTX, the monogram kit, and it was like I say, I started too late, and I knew I wasn't going to meet the deadline, but unfortunately, Mark had his slip, so that gave me a bit of a fighting chance to join in, and I chose to do the satellite you see in front of us, and then the year after, Matthew from Model Car Videos, he chose the 55 monogram Ford F100, or you could use a sedan delivery. And again, that was another easy choice for me. What I was going to do, always wanted to build the Mountain Pearl. Very difficult build, but you know, we managed to get there in time. And this year, Kim had chosen the Revell 68 Dodge Dart or 69 Dodge Dart, whichever one you wanted to use. And I must admit, it was the first time I've really struggled to come up with an idea. I thought conversions, and I just didn't want to do another conversion, to be quite honest with you. So I just decided, I was always a big fan of Virgil Exner's illustrations, concept cars of the 60s. So at a very late stage, I think we were in January when I decided to join this group build, and you know, that's when I actually opened the box finally, and we got started on the model. And like I say, it was the whole idea was just to do something 60s, highly like a concept sort of experimental style custom, very stock looking. And didn't think I was going to make it, to be quite honest. I started too late, and then I had a massive break in between. I think there was 5 weeks before when I started the model to when I actually started on again, which was last weekend. So there's a lot of work to do, and I didn't want to rush the model, but I thought I'll give it a bash this weekend. And over the last week, I've been doing a couple of hours on an evening. And we have managed to finish it. I finished it quite early today. I thought I'd be working till 10 o'clock, but you know, by 1 o'clock I'd finished. I sort of started at 10 o'clock, and I still had a lot to do. But yeah, we made it in the end, and this is the finished model. Like I say, highly inspired by Virgil Exner's illustrations. Now, we were going to go down a very elaborate route. You know, with sort of elaborate bumpers, and we originally put in a vinyl top. But last week when I started up on the project again, really didn't like what I'd done. So we completely changed it up, and I'm really glad I did now. So, because the changes I made has made this model a completely different model. It's still in the style of the concept vehicles which I wanted. And it's still highly inspired by Virgil Exner's designs. You know, the key points I said from the beginning, with the long hood, the sort of swooping body lines, lowered roof, that kind of look. But I did want it looking kind of stock. So, and I think I'm really happy. We've done a lot of work over the weekend, to be quite fair. But I mean, we'll go into colour choice, because that's kind of where I left off in the last video, what colour we were going to do. And I think when I first started the project, I talked about blues and two-tone blues and red and black, or black and white. But as soon as I started making my changes last week, I thought a really fitting colour for this would be Chrysler Turbine Bronze. So we ordered some of that. I think when I started changing stuff was last Saturday morning. I put put in an order on Saturday morning. I'd made a decision there that we'll order that colour in. I've been eyeing it up anyway, just because for a turbine project I wanted to do, but you know, I'm really happy with that colour now. I couldn't have been, I think if I chose any other colour combination, I don't think I would have been as happy as I am with the colour choice now. I mean, the black's just Tamiya black straight out of a rattle can. The turbine bronze is rattle can as well, just pre-mixed sort of auto paint, which I ordered. It was on eBay, about 13 quid or something. And the top coat was, I took a big risk with the top coat. I'd usually use my go-to sort of Half. We have a store over here called Halfords, and I've been using their clears for many years. But because of all the shapes in this and what have you, do tend to have to polish that quite a lot. So I went with Mr. Hobby clear, straight from the rattle can again. I don't decant or anything, you know, I don't put anything through an airbrush. I should do, but I'm just a bit too lazy for that. But the reason I was a bit sceptical about using Mr. Hobby is it's a very hot lacquer, and the amount of bodywork on this, I thought it could easily go wrong. It could, you know, I've tried to protect the bodywork, you know, I don't use solvent glues or anything, it's super glue all the way, and try to use as little body filler as possible. But yeah, I was just worried that hot lacquer would start eating into the bodywork. And you know, I got this painted on Thursday night, I think, possibly Thursday night. You know, I think in the last video we just had it in the grey primer and the black, and yeah, like I say, colour wise couldn't be happier with it. The thing I wasn't happy with was the foil. It's come to bite me in the arse again, to be quite fair. I ordered some bare metal foil 6 weeks ago when I decided to take part in the group build again, and it was just absolutely useless. It was slipping off all over the place. It had no adhesion, so wherever I bought that from has clearly had it in the stock for years, and yeah, it just really did fight me. I think it's the one thing I might readdress in the future, but you know, it's kind of good enough for now. It's good enough. I got it to a sort of standard I was happy with thereabouts, but not happy with. And yeah, I know you can order, your best bet is to order stuff direct from Bare Metal Foil, who make it, but when you're over in the UK, to make that worthwhile, you're kind of having to order a bit to sort of make it worthwhile with the extra shipping costs and stuff, and unless you're ordering 5 sheets and building 2 models a week, it's just not worth it. So yeah, I thought you just, like say, it doesn't matter if you buy new foil from a shop, you don't know how long it's been there, and it, like I say, that was the one thing that really fought me. But yeah, I mean, we'll take it off this. We'll have a bit of a closer look at it. I'll try and get a purchase on it somewhere. But yeah, I think yesterday was pretty. You know, I think I probably put 10 hours into the car yesterday, just because I only had a few hours in the week doing bits and pieces, so there was a lot to do. Yesterday I hadn't even touched the interior at all, so we had to fabricate an interior on it, and you won't see it very well on these. I've taken a few pictures of the pre-assembly, or just before I was putting it in, and we haven't done a pre-assembly video on this, but for the interior, basically we used the whole stock interior. Well, the main panels of the stock interior. Like I say, it's too dark in there, we'll never see, but I overcome, because we've sectioned the body lines, obviously, and moved the roof all the way back. You know, the roof's about a scale foot back from the front of the doors, like the stock version would be. So I think the way I addressed that was we did it. We built the interior a little bit different. Reshaped the insides of the interior, glued them direct to the body. The dashboard where you'd usually build it into the interior, because we'd moved the roof back. That's glued to the bottom of the windscreen. No issues at all, really. I mean, found some custom seats. I'm a bit gutted about the seats I used, because there was I found some custom seats which had like covers to go overlap the parcel shelf, and by the time I got it in there, they're sitting a bit far forward to really see. Used matching front seats. I don't know what these were from, but I had to section all the rear seat to make it fit the lowered body line. So the rear seat was sectioned, and got a it's point. Just wait till the end for the interior. I can't really show that, but yeah, I got a custom steering wheel in there as well. So we did a few custom tricks on it. And I thought yesterday, with it being so late, I'd kind of skimp on the interior and just throw something together, even possibly put yellow windows in it just to kind of hide it. But in the end, I did quite a bit of work to it, all the interiors, all the carpets, flocks and everything. And very, very basic customizing work, but we didn't really need to go into too much detail on it. But I mean, we'll try and go into the modifications we've done to get this concept looking as it is. I'll try and do it in order and without keeping the video too long. But first thing we did was to extend the nose, lower the roof line. That was two birds with one stone. We basically cut the roof line, cut the whole roof off, moved it back, which extended the front of the hood and lowered the rear of the roof into the trunk panel. We did originally put a Lando top on it, but like I said in the last video, I absolutely grew to despise that. So that came off last week, and we've gone in this direction. So yeah, we grafted all the roof in quite nicely into the quarter panels. All the wheel arches have been reshaped and what have you. The rear wheel arch is actually how it came. They cut out in the kit and just reshaped, rounded round the edges. Then put two pie this has been sectioned in two places. We had a pie section running down the full length of the quarter panel to drop that quarter panel down. The same with the top of the door. We pie sectioned the door, dropped the top of the door down, and that gave us the initial body line. The front end, we used a really ugly, and you might still think it's really ugly. The front end nose piece was from a original AMT Grand Prix, Pontiac Grand Prix customizing kit. That was narrowed to fit the body, but I always thought it was an ugly part, but we've done a lot of reshaping into it, and the reason I used it, it just met so well into when I sort of put one side up against the Dodge Dart quarter panel, it really did blend well in. The hood, the back portion of the hood, because we've used a lot of Dart stuff in this, to be quite honest with you. We've used more of the kit than I thought we would. The back of the hood, or the new windscreen cowl, that was made from the back of one of the hoods. We came with two hoods this kit, so I think we used the back of the drag version's hood to make that extended cowl. The front of the hood is from a Dodge Dart Valiant stocker kit, or the LA Dart, which it was just in the parts box, not sure which exact one it came from, but they were both the same hoods. We did a grill this morning. I thought I was going to do, this was my original plan, to to use this grill setup, and then I was going to do something more elaborate. And if I'd done that today, because I would have definitely been here till 10 o'clock. And to be quite honest, I think I would have wasted my time, to be quite fair, because I'm really happy with the Avanti headlamps we used on there. We just used a tube grill between it. The marker lights on the front, those were the original red tail lights from the Pontiac Grand Prix. The reason I used them, obviously we couldn't leave them red, but the reason I used them is they were made for this part. You know, they were going to follow the contour of the nose, so to speak. So we had to bare metal foil them. I mean, and then I ended up putting I bare metal foiled them, put 2 coats of Mod Podge on over the bare metal foil. Then I put 3 coats of orange Tamiya Clear on it, another coat of Mod Podge, and then another 2 coats of Tamiya Clear, clear orange, then 1 last coat of Mod Podge over them, just to make them kind of look like they aren't just, you know, to give them a bit of depth and make them look like they aren't just sort of painted over bare metal foil, so to speak. I did leave a little bit of an edge around them just to make it look like we got a bezel in there. You know, going on to the rear end, we'll go into, we went through quite a lot of what we did in the last video. But the rear roll pan, that's made up again from another kit part. That was the original rear bumper, narrowed down the middle, laid into the bodywork. Additionally, we used the remaining fronts of both the hoods to make the lower rear roll pan, give it that shape. So underneath there, that's the front of both the hoods, centre section of one and the 2 sides from the other. You know, the tailpipes as well, you know, I hadn't even started on the tailpipes. I drilled the holes for them this morning in the last video while we're doing bodywork, but those are just bootlace ferrules, like I said I was going to use. The way I'd also done so they're lined up properly with the exhaust pipe is I use smaller bootlace ferrules, cut the ends of the kit tailpipes off, super glued them to them, and then once I push through these larger bootlace ferrules, they just slid onto there. A dab of glue, a super glue on the end of those, holds all the exhaust system really nicely into place. We did do a number plate for it again. I mean, I'll just show you the bootlace ferrules just so you know what I'm on about. But I just got a big box of these. I think these are like £2 something. And I think for the exhaust tips we used this size. And the ones and we just use the size smaller. Like I say, glued that end to the tailpipe, the kit tailpipe, and they just slide over each other. Like, I mean, it's hard to do it on camera, but yeah, those just slide in and out, and that's what sort of enabled me to make the 2 bits of the tailpipe. Yeah, made up a number plate this morning as well. Just put, and I made it up. This has been a lifesaver. These I bought this many years ago. I don't even know if they're in production anymore. But Airbird, that was who bought these out. There were loads of just California plates. You just make up your own plates. I mean, I would have been better with a Detroit plate, I guess. But you know, that's all I've got. So yeah, I just did Dart X1. As Dart experimental one or something, that's all I could think of. But You know, a lot of this stuff I try to keep in. We're doing a very, you know, this is a very custom build, but with it being concept, we've been trying to keep it stock looking, and I've tried to take as many dart styling features and work them into this. So we worked in the 62 dart side trim. Like I say, I think I started off with all this panel work here, all this ribbon and what have you we used. It was actually, I think I said in the last video 241, but I used 242 half round, and that built up all the feature lines in the car. And then we used like 240 or 241 for the trim on top of it, just a bit of smaller, so but all the original, all the 242 was all blended in. So yeah, I've always loved the 62 dart body line, and I wanted to carry that through. So we just built a center section out of sheet styrene, and then put the trim all the way around. Like I say, I really want to double foil that again, but this morning we made a light bar. That's just another sheet of styrene. It's a bit out of focus and what have you, but you know, you can see the red through there, and chrome foiled that. And then I actually used the last part of one of the first kits I ever bought. It was a Monogram 1985 Dodge Daytona. It's a snap kit, red on the box, and that kit got broken years ago, and I've had the tail light panel in the parts box for many years. Just put that over there. You know, I can't find one of them kits for love and the money, like, and you know, I'd never wanted one for many years, but yeah, it was one of the first kits I bought, so we've managed to use that, and that's just given us the tail lights panel behind there. Really happy with that as well, to be quite fair. You know, I thought that would take me a long time to figure out this morning, but you know, that was just laying there and I thought we'd use it. So yeah, the body lines we worked in very recently. We originally started with the top body line, and then we've carried on through. And like I say, we're trying, when I did that, as cheesy as it sounds, I did want it to sort of resemble a dart in a way. So yeah, that's how I come up with just finishing the body line there and sort of repeating the swooping lines. But yeah, it looks really nice as that. I'm really happy with the way it sort of folds in and out around the fender. But last week as well, we changed up the roof styling again. I went with the earlier like 65 darts sort of half vinyl roof look. I mean, we hadn't done a vinyl roof, I just wanted it painted on this more to match, because if we're just on the bottom, then we wouldn't really have too much of a two-tone going on, and I really like the painted sort of finish on that as well. So but yeah, again, we've wanted to keep the original dart features on the hood. So we'd made all these out again, 242. These were half round, moulded all them in, put the smaller trim piece across the top, which just folds over there and that quite nicely. Like, I really like the look of that and what have you. I mean, we haven't really done anything engine detail wise. Used completely the stock engine, completely out of the box. Just used a 440. The only thing I didn't like was the chrome valve covers. I just cleared them orange as well, to be quite fair, and you know, just to make it look a little bit custom in there. But yeah, it's basically box stock as that. Bit of engine wiring, ignition wire, battery wires, that kind of thing, and didn't go to town with it whatsoever. You know, the chassis, I paint it as I paint all my chassis. I just do them all now in red oxide with a bit of, you know, black fade around. It's not trying to resemble overspray, it's just to give it a bit more interest of just then painting it black. You know, if I didn't do it this way, I'd just paint them black, and then we just picked out all the subframes with gloss black. Exhaust pipe was done in like a light gold and what have you. Engine block, that was painted body colour. Wheels, I knew what wheels I was choosing from the start. You know, always had it in my mind that I was going to use the stock hubcaps from the 70 Impala, 70 Chevy Impala, the AMT kit, and I used them on the AMT 60s Firestones just to age the kit a little bit. I mean, all these new Revell kits and what have you, they're lovely and what have you, but the new tooled wheels, tyres and stuff, you know, they kind of make, no matter, they just make the model look new when you use that kind of thing. So yeah, I wanted to use the AMT Firestones on there. In stated order, stock, I wanted to get it as stock looking as possible. So original handle, all the kit handles we used, kit mirrors, the kit windscreen wipers. I was always conscious of leaving a gap there so I could install them once it's finished and what have you. But yeah, I mean, to round it off, you know, I'm really happy with that, to be quite fair. You know, what we'll do is, you know, that's kind of it in a nutshell. I'm a little bit gutted. Whoa, that was nearly end of that one. A little bit gutted that I hadn't had time to do the videos to show the progress as we've been doing it. But you know, that's just life, unfortunately. So I think what we'll do is, as we do with all these finals, whether it's a group build or not a group build, you know, we'll put it in the light box and just sign the video off, so to speak. So, and I think I've gassed on long enough. I've just seen that we're at half an hour now, but there's a lot to cover, and like I say, there'd be a few pictures at the end of the pre-assembly or the interior and the chassis, and not much else, and then we'll just have a load of pictures of the built model like at the end. Like, so yeah, without further ado, I'll just throw it in the light box. It always sort of shows it in a bit of a different, yeah, brings out the colour a bit more, like, so yeah, we'll throw it in there and sign off the video. Right then, well, as always, like I said, we're just throwing it in the light box. It just always brings out the colour a little bit better, like, and you know, showing off that turbine bronze in a bit of a better light and what have you. But like I say, I was really happy with that colour choice. Thought it was really fitting, using a colour from one of the most renowned concept vehicles of all time on this kit. Also, that it was a Chrysler colour. Even though this thing, as you'll see, it looks very GM now. I think somebody mentioned in the last video that it kind of looked like a Buick Skylark concept vehicle, and me and my friend Mike has always sort of agreed that it's very Buick looking. But we try to pull it back in, using as many sort of dart features over the years to sort of work into this concept. And I mean, I don't know about the colour, but I really like it. I don't know if you would have preferred it to be in a two-tone blue or something else. You know, let me know your thoughts. But you know, as the build changed, like I said, I just decided to go. I thought this was the most fitting colour choice for the model at the time, like, and really glad I went in that direction. But you know, some people might like it, some people might hate it. You know, we've always tried to keep with it in that sort of 60s concept vehicle theme. I've tried to keep it kind of stock looking in as many ways as I can, which, you know, that's what concept vehicles look like to me. They were always had an element of, you know, this could have been production vehicle, so to speak, you know, with stock wheel caps and things like that. I'm not very good at factory stocks. You know, other people are a lot better than me. I haven't seen any videos today as of yet. You know, I've pretty much been working on this, and then when I finished at one, I decided I could actually go out and, you know, go to the shops, get some stuff in, and then I thought I'd come back and do this. But you know, there's so many other people who do factory stocks. I think it takes a real skill to do factory stocks. Like I say, I've not seen any videos yet. I've seen a few updates on the USACC Facebook group page. I've seen Kyle's absolutely beautiful factory stock dart. I saw the update in the midweek of Terry Wilson's build, and Terry always does, in my mind, some of the best models of this group build. I think you know, he just pulls off that factory stock look so well. Massive fan of Terry's. You know, I've seen Fred and then there's the other side of the spectrum, Fred Henry's Pro Street. There was quite a few updates on there, you know, and that was just to name a few. But like I say, I'll start watching videos throughout this evening, throughout the week and what have you, because I think there's a lot joined in this group build this year. Like I say, I was very late to the party again, but I'm glad I've participated this year. It's like I say, I wouldn't have felt right not doing it. I've missed the small scale group build. I must apologise, Sean. I try to do that one every year, but I didn't even touch a model in February. So I am gonna do a small scale model shortly, just because I do like to do one every year anyway, and you know, I'll just call it a late entry into Sean's small scale group build. But again, apologise that I didn't get on that one, buddy. I'll drop you a message soon anyway. You know, I'm gonna have a bit of a quieter week this week to catch up with things and what have you. But yeah, at the end of the day, I didn't want to rush the model. If it wasn't going to get finished today, I didn't mind, so to speak. I would have let it fall into next week, but it would have meant another week of coming home after work and forcing myself to the bench for a couple of hours, like I have been doing over the last week. And yeah, pretty much put in a couple of hours every night on this just to get it moving. And yeah, I was really pleased to get. We still had a lot to do this morning, but everything kind of fell into place. You know, we did the number plates, built the full grille this morning, the tail light panel. The chassis wasn't on it or anything. It was really hard to test fit it. Like the interior yesterday, it would have been difficult to do a pre-assembly, because it was a case of putting stuff in and then trimming it, seeing if it'll work. But again, I didn't want to scrimp on that either, so I did make an effort on the interior, even though you can't see it. Like I said, there's going to be videos at the end. But yeah, overall, I'm really pleased. Even though it's a very different build to the previous two. The previous two are very much recreations of cars I've wanted to build for a very long time. Whereas this is, I've always been a customizer at heart, into the 60s customs, but in my older years, I've really wanted to start doing this style of custom, the concept style, and this is by no means going to be the first and the last. It's you know, when I do a custom, it's most likely going to be in this theme. I didn't think in a million years the first car I would do would be a 68 Dodge Dart, and so that's surprising me as anybody else. But I thought, you know, if you can, like I say, I just couldn't get an idea for that kit. I was really struggling, and then I thought, why let the kit sort of restrict you in your own ideas, so to speak. So So yeah, this is what we've come up with. Like I say, some people might like it, some people hate it. Let me know what you think, but if anything, it's certainly different. And I'm really pleased with it. I'll happily put this in I'll have to buy a display box for this, but I'll happily put this in next to the other two. You know, I'm even, like I say, even though it's very different to the other two, I think I'm still as pleased with it as I have been with the other ones. Glad to get it finished on time, to be quite honest with you. Really glad that I don't have to carry on working on this thing. I can move on to the next thing. The next thing is going to be my car, unfortunately, so there might be another little bit of a lull before my next videos, but I just want to get the car done, which is on the drive. So, and then we're going to get back into building. I've got a few projects I've just been finding bits and pieces for, a few projects which we said we'd do last year and didn't even get started on. So we're going to be doing more builds for the channel, so I do hope you stick with us to see what's next. We've got a few more videos. I haven't got round to doing a review from last year. I don't even know if there's any point in the third month of 2025, but it'll be worth a recap, because you know, even though I think I built 6 or 7 models last year, you know, not that many. You know, we built a few dioramas, and it'd be good to recap on them and just have a bit of a revisit. But like I say, let me know what you think, if you like the styling on this one, if you liked all the custom bits and pieces, like the tailpipes and the way we work the trim round the end, the rear end, and the side styling and what have you. You know, hopefully it's not too much of a massive disappointment. Like I say, I'm happy with it, so I guess that's all that matters really. But yeah, so with that, I think I'm just going to sign off the video completely now. Hopefully it won't be too long before I put something else up. So like I say, big thank you to all the subscribers, all the friends of the family who have been with us for over 2 years now. You know, like I say, we keep picking up subscribers here and there, even though the lack of content, which I can only apologise for. But you know, whatever you're doing for the rest of the weekend, really hope you have a great time. Whatever you're doing for the rest of the week, you know, have a lovely week, and we'll hopefully see you soon. So with that said, we'll see you. Bye. Okay, bye.